Yeah, beyond Bollywood, why regional content in India is the next big entertainment opportunity. Actually, it's India's biggest entertainment opportunity. All right, for this, may I please call upon stage the moderator for the panel discussion, John Julius Tagore, Chief Executive Officer, YourBackersPlay, world's first non-profit OTT platform. Please. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. And the panelists are Arpit Mankar, Senior Vice President, Head, Non-Bollywood, Shemaroo Entertainment. Please give him a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. All right, he will. Yeah. All right. Next panelist is Naveen Chandra, founder and CEO, 91 Film Studios, Regional Film Fund. Please give him a big round of applause. And we have the next panelist, Ravindra Gautam, writer, director, and producer, RG Pictures. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We can do better. Arpit, all right. I believe Arpit will join the discussion. Over to you, Mr. John.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for being with us today. Should we wait for Arpit to come and join us? Hey, Arpit. Please come.
All right, that's Mr. Arpit Mankar, Senior Vice President, Head, Non-Bollywood, Shemaroo Entertainment. Take it away.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hope this is not going to make you sleepy. We'll try to keep it as engaged as possible. Well, this today's topic is most relevant at this point of a time, and beyond Bollywood, why regional content is India's biggest entertainment opportunity. I think this is the key topic today, and
most relevant right now.
Most relevant topic today.
Yeah.
Let me set the tone. For decades, when we spoke about Indian entertainment, Bollywood was often the first word that came to mind. But something fundamental has changed today. A story can begin in Coimbatore, Kochi, or Hyderabad and end up being watched by millions across India and the world. So the question we want to explore today is not whether regional content can compete with Bollywood, but whether regional content is actually the next big engine of the Indian entertainment. So let me start with Ravindra. Yeah. I'll start the fundamental question. Is Bollywood still the center of Indian entertainment, or has India already become a truly multi-regional entertainment market?
Yeah, I think India is developing into a multilingual thing.
Okay.
Bollywood is no longer, you can say, the center.
Okay.
Because jitna Bollywood is being consumed, utna your South Indian content on cinema is being consumed.
Okay.
Regional is consumed.
True.
So, and also the OTT has, lifted a lot of barriers.
True.
The distribution barriers hote the pehle, they have all been removed.
Agreed.
And Indian people are, what I think is, are inherently, they are very close to their culture. Pehle they didn't used to get, a Bengali person sitting in Mumbai didn't have the access to Bangla films.
True.
Now he has. And same goes for every person. And we all have, our love for our mother tongue.
True.
So it makes,
Nativity always comes
it
first,
makes
yeah.
everyone feel closer to home wherever you are.
True.
So that's how this OTT has actually changed the whole environment.
Dimensions have been changed.
Yeah, dimensions. Yeah.
Excellent. All right, let me ask Naveen. Naveen, what has changed in the Indian audience? Why are viewers increasingly choosing stories in their own language?
So, the truth about regional is that India, from a pure data point of view, 55% of Indians don't speak Hindi as a mother tongue. Okay, if we just take census data, 45% of India has Hindi as a mother tongue, as their first language. Another 25% learn the language over time because they're, let's say, sitting in the country or the part of the state which has Hindi as a majority language. But only 45% of India has Hindi as a mother tongue. The rest of them have a different language as a mother tongue.
True.
Now, even from a number of films point of view, today, let's say India makes 1,800 films in the year. Out of 1,800 films, only 350 films are made in Hindi. So Hindi films are only 350 out of 1,800 every year. It is only because Hindi had a larger mind space, right, that we always went with Bollywood. But the real difference was the original stories were always coming from the regions. So 50 years back also, a lot of Tamil films and Telugu films were being remade in Hindi. I mean, there were truckloads of Tamil and Telugu films consistently being remade in Hindi. So Hindi was actually a copy of the regional. The problem was regional films could never reach Hindi markets. So it was a big distribution issue because we have no screens in the country. We have a massive lack of screens, and that was a problem. To an extent, OTT sort of bridged that problem by saying, okay, you want to watch a regional film, here it is. So you didn't have to go to the theater. You sort of overcame the, the gaps that theatrical distribution has. And it was a wide gap. It is so wide that you'll not believe, out of 19,000 pin codes in India, 16,500 pin codes don't have a theater. Yeah. They don't have a theater. 85% of the pin codes in the country do not have a movie theater. You have to travel 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers to watch a movie. It's not possible. It is just not possible. So as a result, there's extreme concentration, and also distribution was a key problem. It was never a problem of content. Regional was always making more content than Hindi. It was never a problem of even revenues. Regional was always making good revenues. Regional was always doing original thing. It was just a question of reach and distribution, which to an extent are now being addressed because of OTT. And I think that's the only difference right now. Otherwise, there is nothing in the regional that's sort of, in fact, I'll give you a good example of Telugu films. When Netflix and Amazon, as streaming platforms came just before the pandemic. In fact, on Jan 20th, 2020, I wrote an article in the Business World saying that this decade will be the decade of regional. I wrote that in Jan 20th, 2020. 3 months later, there was a pandemic and everybody switched to regional. It was a prophecy that came true. But the fact of the matter is that at the end of the day, all of the regional content suddenly found viewers, right? Which was always being made for a long period of time.
I mean, I'll just add a question to it.
Yes.
Do you think the audiences are becoming language agnostic these days?
Audiences were always language agnostic. I don't think audiences really cared about language. To give an example, in Maharashtra, right? Even if somebody's mother tongue is Marathi, it was not necessary that he would watch Marathi films, right? It was not necessary for a Bengali to watch Bengali films. There was never that compulsion. There was only the difference between good films and bad films. I mean, even today, the only difference is a good film is a bad film. That's it. True. Language, even today, doesn't matter. It didn't matter 50 years back also. Because nobody's interested. So if you see Gujarati films or you see Bengali films, it is not necessary that it is being seen, that they're watching only that language films. This was never, it was just a question of reach.
I would like to add,
please.
In all these cinema channels now, what you'll see is most of the content is Hindi dubbed.
True.
And they're doing very well. So language has never been a problem. That's what I think,
All right, great. Arpit, I have a question for you. Since you, handle non-Bollywood content based out of Gujarat.
I'm based in Bombay, but yeah, we run the largest Gujarati OTT app, Shemaroo.
Right. Has OTT been the biggest game changer for regional entertainment?
Yes. So Naveen mentioned how India remains an underpenetrated market for cinema viewing. Now, when you add the might of Bollywood, a regional film finds it very difficult to get enough shows and enough screens. Limiting the reach of the film. So I'll just give you an example. Last year, 2025 was a breakout year for Gujarati cinema. The industry has done 60 crores for the last many years, and it crossed 200 crores. One big film, Lalo, which all of you would have seen flash across national media, but many stable films above 5 and 10 crores. But ever since Dhurandhar came, there have been very few Gujarati releases. So that's a real issue that regional films fight with. And what OTT has done is expand that window for a film, wherein a film can be reached by the native viewers as well as people who not just stay in the state and are not able to access. There are many, for example, many Gujaratis living in Hyderabad or many Maharashtrians living in Delhi. OTT has enabled, one is a long window, on-demand window for films, expanding the reach of the films beyond theatrical, which comes with its own volatility because Bollywood, all said and done, is larger than life,
Okay, all right, noted. And do you think, I mean, any of you can answer this question. Do you think OTT has created more opportunities for regional creators, or has it made the competition tougher?
No, so what OTT really has done is given people a lot of different content to watch, right?
Yeah.
That was a gap earlier. So OTT is, immediately bridged that gap.
True.
So today you can watch content of any language, and everybody eventually had positioning. Netflix was showing you international content.
Yeah.
Amazon dipped into regions and picked up regional language content. Individual language-wise OTT, whether it's Gujarati, Tamil, Telugu, Bengali, Punjabi, they started doing regional language-wise OTT. So everybody started, sort of catering to that market with the caveat that the content can be seen everywhere, right? Except Telugu. So the Telugu market, what they did, every single language sold the best of their content to the streaming platforms.
Okay.
Telugu didn't sell a single one. Telugu went.
Any specific reason?
And they made, because they believe in film so much, they have 1800 screens in the country. They believe in film so much and the audience watches film so much, they didn't do a single OTT show. Right. They went and made the biggest films for the box office. That's how you see the RRRs and the Kalkis and the Bahubalis, all Varanasi. They are dreaming and visualizing films, like Christopher Nolan does for Hollywood, saying we are making it for the theatre, right? So they didn't believe in the OTT piece at all, unlike every other language which sort of gave into the pressure of OTT.
Right. Super. Yeah, go ahead.
But yes, healthy competition is there.
Yeah.
It has created a very healthy competition, not tough competition I would call, but a healthy competition. Because now everyone watches content, and regional cinema has always been, regional, not even only cinema, all the regional content is very content-centric.
True.
It is very story-centric.
So to speak, Malayalam is
So,
really
it is very story-centric. The story is, it's primary.
in-depth.
In-depth.
It's deeply connecting.
So I think, so a lot of, especially Hindi cinema and Hindi content has realized you need to have a story which has depth, which has roots.
True.
They are all very grassroots stories. All the regional content are very grassroots stories.
So one of the things that really drove this transition, there's a movie called Dil Chahta Hai. I'm sure everybody in the room has seen it. According to me, Hindi film industry is, there are two eras of the Hindi film industry, pre-Dil Chahta Hai and post-Dil Chahta Hai, right? Dil Chahta Hai released in the same year that Lagan released, right? Lagan also released in the same year. And Gadar also released in the same year. Now what happened is Lagan and Gadar worked very well in the single screen theatres. Dil Chahta Hai divided the country. The people who saw Dil Chahta Hai, the rural markets didn't understand Dil Chahta Hai. They think, what is this man sitting on the bench and saying, pyar kya hai? Aisa thodi hota hai. So they didn't understand it, right? So they rejected it. Rural India rejected Dil Chahta Hai. But urban India, they loved it. They lapped it up. They saw it multiple times. Because by the time multiplexes had come. So Dil Chahta Hai divided the country into multiplex audiences of Dil Chahta Hai and the non-multiplex single screens of Lagan and Gadar. All three movies did well. But Dil Chahta Hai brought this multiplexing. After that, when you see a movie called Padman, which is the, let's say, biography of a sanitary napkin, I'm saying, but this is a very urban theatre. This is very urban audiences. Rural audiences saying, what are you telling me? So that division happened, and because of that, I think as more and multiplexes came, more and more movies started becoming made for the multiplex audiences. Regional, however, didn't have this pressure because multiplexes, were spread across the country.
True.
Single screens were spread. Regional, when you're making a Malayalam film, there are only 3.5 crore people who speak Malayalam. Only 35 million, 3.5 crore people who speak Malayalam. You're making for just that segment. That segment has 99% literacy. They are situated in one state and one country called UAE. That's it. You don't have to make the screenplay to please the guy sitting in Assam or Kashmir or Uttar Pradesh. You worry about only those 99% literate, Kerala situated 3.5 crore people with a little bit of Dubai is like a suburb of Kerala. You go to Kannur, Kasargod, and you jump and you reach Dubai, right?
Little Dubai.
So you just make it for that. Similarly, Punjabi. You make the film only for Punjab, which is 5.5 crore people, and some 500,000 diaspora sitting in UK, Canada.
True.
There was a time when Cathay Pacific Airline used to be called Kithe Pacific because everybody's going for Punjab. Now you just make for that. You don't worry about anybody else watching it. It's such a tightly defined audience. So you make a very true, authentic story. Hindi had to cater to everybody. Will the guy in Karnataka watch me? Will the guy in Bengal watch me? Therefore the story became dumbed down. And then the multiplex audience broke away. So it became into a bit of a spot till Dhurandhar comes and says, okay boss, everybody can watch me.
True.
That's the difference. Yeah.
Thank you, Naveen. Ravi, I have one more question. We have seen these regional films and stars become national phenomena. Do you think this is a temporary trend or a permanent shift?
No, I think this is a permanent shift. This is not a temporary thing.
Really?
So there are no more regional stars.
What makes you say so?
Because, regional, there's nothing called a regional cinema right now.
Okay.
You watch it on OTT, you watch it in your own language. There are subtitles, there's audio. So a regional star becomes a national star. A person watching in UP watches it in Hindi. For him, he's a Hindi star. For a person watching it in West Bengal,
Tamil,
watches it in Bangla.
All right.
So for him, he becomes a Bangla star. So it is a very good thing that has happened. All these the stars have become all national stars. Yeah. And this will continue, and this is there to stay.
But I differ there. There is, according to me, nothing called a pan-India star. There is nothing. This pan-India star is a big myth. People are trying to fix this formula ki ek Telugu se lo, ek Tamil se le lo, ek villain Punjab se de do, aur bana do. It doesn't work like that. You have to make the story true to that market. So when Rajamouli makes a story, he's making a Telugu film. Remember that. RRR is a Telugu film. Bahubali is a Telugu. He makes a pure Telugu. Everybody inside the film is Telugu. Cast, crew, everybody included, right? And maybe, one or people here and there. But otherwise, he makes a Telugu film, but he makes it so nicely and so richly set and so true to that soil that the story travels.
Agreed.
Correct? When Disney makes Moana,
Agreed. Yeah.
When Disney makes Moana, Disney is not trying to please everybody. Disney is making a very true universal film. Or Toy Story, for example. How does the Minions movie do $1 billion here? I keep thinking, how did Minions do $1 billion? 9,500, 10,000 crore rupees. How does one film do that? How does, Toy Story do $1 billion, $1.5 billion? 12, 13,000 crore rupees, yeah. One film, which is about automated toys, yeah. Because they work on the emotion and they root it so deeply that you connect with the emotion. Look at Spider-Man. You just connect with that emotion, right? Look at Toy Story. Toy Story is about using mobile phones. Yeah? I mean, somebody's got a mobile phone. It's a brilliant story. It's universal. So the focus is the more local you go, the more true you are to the story, the more universal it travels.
Absolutely.
Pan-India star is a myth. Is a complete myth, right? You will see in Varanasi, it will be completely Mahesh Babu's film. It is run by Rajamouli, written by Vijayendra Prasad. Priyanka Chopra ko chhod ke, everything else is, that's it. But it will travel because of the way he makes it. And he's marketing it in Italy, he's marketing it in France, he's marketing it in US. He's the only guy who's won an Oscar for a song. So he's marketing it everywhere much before the movie releases. So obviously he will, hopefully crack it.
Great. Arpit, let's talk a little bit of a business here. Are the advertisers and brands beginning to understand the commercial power of regional audiences?
They've always understood this. because regional has been delivering reach across print, TV for years. Of course, there are markets that are much easily reached by Hindi, and there are markets where regional is the dominant play. So the role of your platform depends on which market are you operating in. But yeah, it's a pretty evolved.
How's Gujarat?
Gujarat is a interesting market. Gujarat actually is a market that loves Hindi. Starting from Kyonki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi to Tarak Mehta to now Anupama, Gujarat has been served very well on Hindi, and 95% of their watch time is Hindi. We are trying to build a Gujarati OTT in that market, and it needs two things: patience and belief that this market will really turn around. There are other challenges. It's a 5 crore state or 6 crore state with very sharp segments, urban and rural.
Okay.
The urban film industry is barely 13 years old. So the way we are approaching it is, we are building the category more than running an app. We are seeing our role as creating this market, creating consumption for native language among a set of people who are an open culture, who actually are very happy with Hindi. So there are two things we do. Gujarati films have, like I said, the market has had some inflection last year, 200 crore plus. Okay. We are the gateway to the urban Gujarati films. We pretty much have all the big hits. But that's only taking us to a certain slice of the market. Regional consumption will be skewed to older audiences. So there are stories which the movie industry is making, and we are showcasing it. Okay. But we also want to grow the market. We also want to make Gujarati share of time much higher and stand taller against Hindi. So we are also actually telling stories which the movie industry is not making.
Right.
So which will appeal to a 30 to 45-year-old TG, which is actually watching everything from Hindi to Malayalam to Gujarati. So, and just to add here, you asked about regional creators. So our first original, and this outside of the South, this industry is largely based in Mumbai. Now Bollywood and Hollywood have fueled creativity across the country. Yeah. So a lot of these people are staying in smaller towns or semi-urban areas, and they don't really aspire to pitch a show to Netflix or JioStar. Interestingly, when we were looking for concept for our first original, we went to 40-50 concept. The concept that we selected, the filmmaker lives in a village 25 kilometers of Rajkot. He's made 5 films. The writer is a dentist in Rajkot, and they built a small writer's room in Rajkot, which is a mini metro in Gujarat, in Saurashtra. Now that maker understands his culture, his language better than Hindi. He aspires to create content in his language. He doesn't have access to the Netflix, the JioStars, the Amazons. He'll probably, he wants to prove success here. So we have been able to, and the point I'm trying to make is, regional OTTs have given a platform to such creators who Mumbai is not accessible to. Right. But they have great stories. They have great hunger to tell stories. Yeah.
Ravi, I have a question for you from a business perspective. From a business perspective, where is the bigger opportunity today? Is it on films, OTT series, television, short films, content, or creator-led entertainment?
Yeah, the opportunity is everywhere. Okay. See, first of all, opportunity is everywhere right now. It is in films also, it is in OTT also, it is in short form also. And right now, opportunity is bigger because now you don't have to wait for a producer who can give you a theatrical release. You can go to the OTT channels. You can go to regional OTT channels. True. You can go to YouTube makers. You can make it yourself. That is the best thing that has happened. People are making it themselves. 1 lakh मैं लगाता हूँ, 50 तू लगा, 30 तू लगा, and they make some brilliant stuff and put it on YouTube. Right. And the market is such, with the data flowing freely, it has become so easy to get good content seen.
All right.
So opportunities, as he said, a person sitting in Rajkot does not need a Netflix to make his movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Naveen, what's your point on?
Again, I have a contrarian point here, right? I believe fundamentally each medium has a very different skill set. If you are good at telling a story in 10 seconds, like they do in advertising, you'll be damn good at that. You will see that barely anybody from the advertising creative industry has migrated into films because they are very good at telling a story in 10 seconds. They can tell a story in 15 seconds, right? But you tell them a story in 2 hours, they can't do it. A lot of television people that I meet, they are very good at telling a story in 100 hours, in 200 hours. Balika Vadhu was Balika Vadhu for 15 years. I'm saying, bhai,
True.
kabhi to, matlab, but 15 years Balika Vadhu ran because they are very good at telling the story. Continuously, they can continue, carry on. You know, Sasural Simarka, I watched an episode with my mother. 30 minutes passed, she had to tear a letter, she didn't tear the letter. So I'm saying, those guys who tell that story are very good at telling a TV story. Those guys who tell OTT, which is a 10-hour, 15-hour content, they are very good at telling OTT stories. They're not good at TV. They will not be good at TV. DNA will become OTT creators. And the people who tell the story in 2 hours, which is the feature film guys, will be good at feature films because a grammar syntax of a 2-hour story is completely different from a 16-hour web series, which is very different from a 100-hour TV series, which is different from a 10-second ad. And you will notice this difference, and you will barely find a creator who's migrated. Somebody's good here. Similarly, actors, you can actually divide the actors. The moment you give the name of an actor, you can put it in one bucket. He's good OTT, he's a theatrical guy, he's this, and now there's microdrama. So people who are good at microdrama will find it difficult to do a feature film, or will find it difficult. I mean, if they crack it, that is great. From advertising, among so many advertising people, barely Nitish Tiwari, 2-3 people you can say who have migrated into film. So I think fundamentally, people who are good in one platform, right, eventually adapt that platform, that becomes a DNA, and they become very good at it, extremely good at it.
Good.
And migration to a different is very difficult. So you can't literally straddle, because the dynamics, the ecosystem of every single, and the skills required are very different.
Great. I'll throw the question to all of you. What is the biggest mistake national entertainment industry makes when it looks at regional India? Anybody can pick this.
I don't think they make mistakes, but like Naveen was saying, regional makers have the benefit of homogeneity. So you're addressing a very tightly defined set of people. So if you know that, let's say if you're throwing a party and if you know that my office colleagues are going to come, you'll crack the menu much better than trying to solve for a 4 to 80-year-old coming from all parts of your family as well as office. So it's basically homogeneity and the focus that you get. A national maker is trying to balance.
We always looked at it as a homogeneous market as such, until now. I think that's opening up is what I could sense.
In fact, I think there's a lot of aspects that national platforms can derive from regional. So some of the, again quoting television, some of the biggest hits have come from regional shows. Absolutely. So I mentioned 2 shows. So Tarak Mehta is probably the most consumed IP in India. That comes from regional literature, Chitralekhas, it's the Gujarati magazine. Anupama comes from a Bengali show, Shri Moi. So national players are acknowledging that they're actually looking for stories which have worked deeply in a certain market and trying to make it global. And this happens that if you pull out, Disney does that, basically take stories which have worked in certain markets and then...
Great. All right, so again, Naveen, I can ask you this question. If you had to identify one regional market that could surprise India over the next 5 years, which would it be and why?
No, I think Telugu is the largest regional market in the country today.
Really?
And if Rajamouli's film goes through, I have a feeling it can become India's first billion-dollar film.
Oh, okay.
It can do 7,000-8,000 crores at the box office. I mean, I'm hoping he does. It is the single largest movie market in the country today. There's no doubt about it. Bigger than Hindi.
Okay.
The one that punches far above its weight is Malayalam. Right?
Malayalam, right?
With 3.5 crore people, when they do a 100 crore film, you say, boss, which other language does this multiple? True. Right? Population multiple to revenue. No other language does it other than Malayalam. It is the single largest multiple. I mean, 3.5 crore people giving 100 crore at the box office is amazing. Yeah. Nobody else does it.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you in this. See, South Indian markets have already surprised, which India since long, and now to more so. But one language that will surprise more, it has surprised, that is the Gujarati market.
Excellent. Okay.
The Gujarati cinema market has grown so well. He was just telling.
Yeah, he was.
So that is one market that is, I think, still there's lots to explore in that market.
Excellent.
वहाँ से अभी उतनी कहानियाँ नहीं आई हैं. बहुत कहानियाँ आनी बाकी हैं, and that is a very, very culturally rich area, society. Yeah.
Right, Ravindra, you being a producer, let me put you on the spot. If you were to invest your own money, where would you invest it? In which regional entertainment?
I think because I'm a producer, because I'm a businessman, I'll distribute my money in 10 different regional languages instead of putting all the eggs in one basket.
One basket, okay.
Because everything is growing these days, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Naveen, your thoughts?
Well, so I'm already doing that. Yeah. I mean, I started a fund in 2019. The idea of the fund is to make regional language feature films in 10 languages. I don't do Hindi, I don't do TV, I don't do OTT. But I have done 8 films till now: Malayalam, Tamil, Bengali, Punjabi, Marathi. I'm doing my first Kannada and Gujarati this year, and Telugu also. So I mean, I'm already doing 10 languages in India, and I'm also looking at doing Korean and French and Indonesian, which I'm working on, and a Russian maybe. So yeah, regional languages, as long as no Hindi and English, I'm good.
Creators, reach out to him, please. All right, finally, let me ask you one question. Probably, each one of you has to answer this. The future of Indian entertainment is just one word or one sentence.
It's terrific.
Brilliant. What do you think, Ravindra?
Yeah, it is brilliant.
All right.
I think fresher stories that go beyond what the viewers have been served or can imagine, coming from different parts of the country and traveling and making it big.
Brilliant. Guys, do you want to take any questions? I think we have 2 more minutes. Any questions from the audience side? Probably you can throw. Yes. Can somebody hand over the mic, please?
Hi, I'm Zubin and I run a brand tech agency powered by AI. So since it's all about AI, the question is, what's the role of AI in filmmaking or in content creation that will come into mainstream when each of us are talking about creation and producing films?
So, I've worked on 2 AI films. One that released in February this year. One we made last year but didn't release.
Which one was that?
Shatak, released in the theaters this year in February, 20th of February. And Naisha is something that I worked on last year. And my third one is under production right now to be released next year. The thing is, it's not about AI. It's the story that you're telling, right? When you look at the film, the story has to work. AI is just sort of a tool.
But it's also the quality that matters, right?
So obviously, that will get better. When we were doing the first film, by the time we bought the first software, there was an upgraded version. Second one, there was an upgraded version. Third, by the time the 5th upgrade came, Sayara released, and our story was like Sayara. I said, okay, it's gone. But the point is, tech is updating now every 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. It's getting better and better and better. There are various ways you can already use AI. There are lots of ways, right? I mean, at least 10, 15 applications already exist. But the full-length feature film will happen. I mean, there is no 2 ways about it. It will happen. It is a done thing. China has launched a $100 billion fund to transform all their 250 kung fu movies to be remade in AI. They've already announced the fund. They said, let's reimagine all the kung fu movies for the new generation. It's already started. They'll all start hitting the market in the next 1 year or so. US, every country is starting their own AI. We are just dithering, we don't know what to do, but I think eventually it'll come to us and we'll also look at AI and sort of, but there is no shying away from it. It's the reality. AI is everywhere, it's going to happen. But it is going to coexist with real storytelling.
And one more question, just to follow up, because it's regional, and you mentioned 35 million Telugu?
Malayali. 35 million, yeah.
Yeah, 35 million. Now the question is, it's always a paradox, right? When you have such a concentrated audience, when you're using digital marketing to attract those audiences, your CACs will go over the roof. Yeah. So how would you balance this out? Because eventually every brand, even national brands and even FMCG brands, and everyone's targeting those guys. So
no, I know, but here's the thing. See, let's look at numbers. 35 million Mallus in the world. Mohanlal has 9 million followers. Mohanlal. Right? So of course, if you cast him, then 30% of Kerala market knows on the first day, rest doesn't go.
That's part, it's just saying that I have a film. When you're talking about OTT, for example, and you want people to come and subscribe because of the film coming onto your OTT, then your CACs, I mean, your marketing is only focused on that one film to generate revenue for the OTT, and your TAT, or rather your entire TAM in that sense is only 35 million people.
Yeah, so the thing is that OTT is a tough business, right? The money in OTT is yet to be seen. I mean, it's somewhere in the future. As long as you can keep investing, trying to get your customers, it's a game you can play. It's a very tough business. India, as a market, as a country, is not a payment market. We are a B2B media entertainment business. We do television, money comes from advertising. No subscriber pays us. Distribution, everything, nothing. I worked for Times of India for 15, 20 years. Times of India newspaper cost 2-3 rupees, right? All the money came, billions of dollars came from advertiser. So we were actually building a business for the advertiser, not for the consumer. Consumer never paid us. I mean, he paid us some, 2 rupees for a 50, 60 page publication. So as a media and entertainment business in India, most of us have lived on advertiser money.
Correct.
Right? Not subscription money. Netflix says subscribers have to pay, right? That is a new game. OTT is learning this new game. OTT will struggle, will find, because for somebody who's never paid. Today, Spider-Man tickets. Spider-Man has done 200 crores in India. But they're selling tickets at $500, $1,000, $1,200. Odyssey is selling at $300,000. After you have paid 7,000-8,000 rupees for a movie, what do you want OTT for? Yeah? Usi ko sochte raho agla mahina. Because it's a lot of money that goes, right? So the thing is, we are not a paid subscription model. YouTube will work again because everybody is free, money is coming from advertiser. So we are a B2B media entertainment business in the country. Money is paid by the advertiser. We are subsidized by the advertiser. And as long as we have 4-5% of the big advertising market, that is what is the cash that comes to the business. Direct subscription revenue is only that much. It's only, see how little everybody's made. That's because nobody pays. Or they pay selectively, saying, okay, let me buy for 3 months, watch everything that there is, take a break, come back next year for 3 more months. So it's not.
But still, all said and done, there are still 120 million subscriptions, Arpit, maybe, yeah? So there are still that many subscriptions on OTT in India.
But that is it. Yeah. That is it. It will never reach 300-400 million. It is, you're the border of it. Yeah. After 6-7 years, with 2-3 years of exclusivity, when theatres were shut down, TV was not having content, after 6-7 years of dhakka, with so much of exclusivity, this is what you reach. This is your boundary. If you crash your prices, you'll come back to the same revenue. So it's a tough game. It's not easy.
That is why I'll tell you, many OTT platforms, regional OTT platforms, which are doing business on a lower revenue model. Like you say, Stage is there, or Chaupal is there. जो कम budget में बना रहे हैं. They are doing very well these days. So you have to find your own model in the OTT platforms if you are regional.
Even that, let me qualify. So Stage does dialects. They don't do languages, they do dialects. Meaning, they're actually not going to Haryanvi. They're going to the dialects of, what is spoken Karnal, what is spoken Nambala, what is spoken. So when you go dialect, you don't go Bhojpuri, you're not doing Bhojpuri. They're doing, Maithili, Bundelkhandi. There is no money there.
All right.
There is no money. I mean, where do you... So you'll go, your VC money to chalega. But at the end of the day, when you have to come to monetizing, you'll go back to advertising. You'll say, boss, let me get 5% of advertising, ye hone wala. Because वो उत्तर प्रदेश में बुंदेलखंडी में बनाओ जितना बनाओ, but बुंदेलखंडी वाले के पास पैसे नहीं है.
Naveen,
so money has to come from somewhere.
Naveen, I'm so sorry to interrupt.
I'm sorry, I have to stop here. I'm so sorry. I couldn't take any more questions.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Pleasure having you.